this incident. Now, the Rivers State Police Command say their operatives raided and destroyed the camp of a notorious kidnapper, Prince Will Olu, in Emoha local government area. Commissioner of Police Munye Emeka, at a media briefing at the command headquarters, said the operatives arrested 5 members of the gang.
At Obakari Forest, Emoha, local government of Rivers State, on 14th of July 2023, stormed the camp of a notorious kingpin, Prince Will Olu, aka Boboyo. They also arrested 5 suspects, namely Adebayo Messi, Amundikendo Ibeche, Olu Gabriel, Mayor, Godtime Samuel, and Thank God Wuri, and they are helping the police in further investigation.
But CP Munye Emeka also said that operatives of the command last Friday, in collaboration with community members, arrested one Otamiri Chinedu at Olakwo community in a Che local government area for kidnapping of 4 law students in 2022.
With help from the community and other public-spirited citizens, arrested one Otamiri Chinedu, age 25, of Olakwo at Eche. The said suspect is involved in kidnapping of about 4 student lawyers in 2022 between Nili and Olakwo in Eche local government area. The suspect confessed to the other kidnappings along Eche local government area.
Well, the Rivers State Commissioner of Police also said that operatives of the Hawk Police Unit arrested one victim Monday who specialized in car snatching and one-chance robbery at Azubike Estate on Okboro Road in Obiakpo local government area.
On Friday, 14th July 2023 at about 00 hours, the command operative on tip-off that a gang of hoodlums were in operation. Hawk intelligence team swung into action and arrested one victim Monday, Zamir, who specializes in car snatching and one chance.
Elsewhere, some constitutional and human rights lawyers have filed a contempt charge and begun committal proceedings against the Director General of the Department of State Services, DSS, Yusuf Bichi. The lawyers, led by Maxwell Okpara and Ahmed Tijani, are asking the court to commit Mr. Bichi to prison for failing to obey court orders that asked the DSS to release from detention the suspended governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, Godwin Emefiele. Moving on, former governor of Rivers State, Nyesom Wike, has criticized the activities of the Niger Delta Development Commission, NDDC, describing it as cash cow. Mr. Wike, who was speaking at the flag-off ceremony of 200 billion naira Port Harcourt Ring Road project today, challenged the NDDC to support the state government by funding a part of the project.
Assuming NDDC has carried out a project of this nature in every state, then you would have wondered what the Niger Delta would have been. I believe Mr. President will change what we used to have as this cash cow to bring development to Niger Delta. I challenge what you call the cash cow. If they really want to develop, let them come and support you by taking it from Morokiri down to Okrika and then end at Alessa Eleme. In that case, the entire ring road is completed. And how many kilometers? Not up to 20 kilometers, not up to 15 kilometers.
Now, Mr. Wike took a swipe at the Amechi administration for approving 100 billion naira for the construction of a ring road.
Some people in 2007 and 2008, there was a time in a month we got 100 billion naira. And that time I was the chief of staff. I would say we are going to carry out this ring road. We put 100 billion in an account in First Bank for the ring road. Up to today, there's no ring road. Ken Chike is here. But look at today, he has spent only a month in office and he has paid 150 billion. It is not I will do, it is I am doing.
Well, the former governor of the state also said the project is in the interest of Rivers people and commended Governor Siminalayi Fubara for showing the will to execute the project.
What federal government can do for you from time to time is to see if there's any federal road or try to cite one federal project. But to develop your state squarely lies on us here. And what the governor is doing today to say, look, I love my state. This mandate they gave to me, I will not take it for granted. And that's what we are doing today.
Earlier, Rivers State Governor Siminalayi Fubara said the Port Harcourt Ring Road project will unite the state. Well, Governor Fubara urged communities to cooperate, saying the state government will pay compensation to those affected.
I want us to look at this project as that connectivity in the life of this state. We ask for your cooperation. It is a project for all of us. It's a project to unite this state. So as we come through your LGAs, we are going to pay you your compensation. You don't need to worry, but we ask for your cooperation. It is only when you don't cooperate with us, when you want to sabotage us, that is when we are going to swing the big hammer on you. We are not going to compromise. We don't care who you are. We are going to deal with you squarely.
Governor Fubara said the road project will decongest Port Harcourt.
We have said so much about the unity and the progress of this state. This project is one project that will bring more development to our dear states. We are talking about the expansion and the decongestion of Falga and Obiapo. This project will bring new city into Port Harcourt, into River State. After this project, people will be living far off. Accessibility into the town will be at ease.
Governor Fubara also assured Rivers people that the state government will also attend to other sectors of the state's economy.
We will look at other sector, the health sector, the education sector, even the youth empowerment and other aspects. We will definitely attend to all of them. But today, we are doing that of the road that will help us. When we want to come to your place to do other things, we can easily access it.
In the meantime, Chairman of the Joint National Association of Persons Living with Disability in Rivers State, Kyo Obomanu, says he is satisfied with plans put in place by the government to make the Ring Road project accessible for people with special needs. Mr. Obomanu said this in an interview with correspondent Onyeka Chinwosu.
They've agreed to make it disability friendly. There will be ramps, there will be cross section for persons with disability. For instance, those on wheelchair who want to cross. So I think it's a good project because all projects now, according to the United Nations Convention for the Rights of Persons with Disability, we must ensure that there are accessibility.
In another development, the networks of civil society organizations in the Niger Delta region say they will monitor and evaluate the activities of hydrocarbon pollution remediation project, HYPREP. The decision was reached today in Port Harcourt during a one-day national roundtable on HYPREP organized by the People's Advancement Center. The convener, Celestine Akbobari, in an interview, said their intention is to ensure HYPREP deliver on their mandate to clean up Ogoni land and to ensure it does not fail like other federal interventionist agencies in the region.
Unfortunately, most people are not aware that the money that is being spent in HYPREP does not come from government. It's from the oil company. And so we don't want the monies given to HYPREP to begin to be frittered away like the one that government is putting into NGs and all that. So it's better that civil society should begin now to act as a watchdog over this project so that we are able to know what they are doing on a day-to-day basis. From this meeting today, there will be a coalition of civil society organizations and sort of network.
But Mr. Akbobari also called on government and international oil companies to comply with their part of the funding for the Ogoni cleanup exercise.
I prep a $1 billion. The $1 billion is from what we call polluter pay principle. That is, you pollute the environment, you pay. The oil company is supposed to pay, but they have a percentage of that money. NNPC that belong to government were supposed to pay part of it, about 20%, which they have not contributed since the beginning of this project. They are supposed to have released $200 million every year into IPREP, but what they are releasing is 1/8. The other 20 is supposed to come from government and refinery. They have not done that.
Well, some leaders of civil society organizations in the state said it is time that adequate attention is directed to the activities of HYPREP.
To mobilizing groups and communities in our different constituencies to understand what the cleanup is all about and what they are supposed to support.
So the health crisis is still there with us. The air monitoring we've not dealt with. Those are some of the things that we are still trying to deal with here.
We need to be more deliberate about involving the youth because remediation is mostly for young people who depend on the environment for their livelihoods.
We've not had too many in-depth reports about what is going on.
Correspondent Soibio Ruware reports that the program coordinator of HYPREP, Nenibari Ni Zabe, called on civil society groups to create awareness about the dangers of illegal oil activities in Ogoni land during the cleanup exercise.
Our mandate is to clean up all oil-contaminated lands and wetlands in Ogoniland. However, it is important that while we are cleaning contaminated sites, we prevent further contamination. That will just be running in the cycle of disaster. I urge civil society practitioners to step up sensitization in the communities in Ogoniland and the rest of the Niger Delta.
Still to come, new APC national chairman emerges. Stay tuned. And now to the rest of the news. The APC Deputy National Chairman North, Abubakar Kyari, has emerged as the party's national chairman. We're briefing reporters after the National Working Committee meeting. Senator Kyari formally announced the resignation of Adamu and Senator Iyuola Omishore as the party's national chairman and national secretary.
With this development, and according to the Constitution of the All Progressive Congress, it is now incumbent on my humble self, Senator Abubakar Kyari, as the Deputy National Chairman North, to assume the office of the Acting National Chairman of the National APC, and subsequently also the Deputy National Secretary, Barrister Festus Fuanta, will now assume the office of the Acting National Secretary.
In other news, the Rivers State chapter of the Nigeria Institute of Public Relations is calling on public relations practitioners, leadership and students of PR to synergize towards the betterment of corporate organizations and nations. Well, Chairman of the Institute, Paulinus Nsirim, said this today at an event to mark World Public Relations Day. He said the Ethics and Disciplinary Committee will ensure that practitioners who are yet to obtain certification in the profession face the law.
A lot of people think that you can just do everything. The Ministry of Public Relations Decree number 16 of 1990, which makes it a criminal offense to practice public relations without certification. And that law provides for imprisonment not exceeding 2 years, a fine, or both. Anybody who is involved in public relations in Rivers State and is not a certified practitioner will likely go to jail.
World Public Relations Day is celebrated on the 16th of every year. The theme for this year's The theme for this year's World Public Relations Day is Harnessing the Power of Public Relations, where some attendees also spoke to our correspondent.
Today's program has really been intriguing and exciting for us all. As a public relations official, we are built and educated to bridge the gap between society, individuals, and organizations. Because as a public relations officer, you are the image builders of organizations and the image builders of society.
Public relations is a very vital tool in building brand images and then bringing about measurable changes for the company and maintaining a healthy relationship between stakeholders and the community.
We have seen that as public relations students, we are meant to learn how the techniques, the strategies, and public relationship in Nigeria. I'm very delighted.
The federal government has confirmed the first case of anthrax in the country. Anthrax mostly affects animals like cows, sheep and goats, but can infect humans who come in contact with infected animal products like meat, wool, or skins. In business, Nigeria's inflation rate has risen to 22.79% in June from the 22.41% recorded in May, but this was contained in the Consumer Price Index (CPI) report released by the National Bureau of Statistics today. In entertainment, the Lagos State Police spokesperson Benjamin Hundeyi says the police have launched an investigation into the death of one person at a nightclub in the Fadeyi area of Lagos. It is alleged that the suspect was Trev Boy, a former signee of popular Afrobeats artist Davido. And in sports, Nigeria Premier League champions Enyimba have announced the sacking of their head coach George Finidi, where Mr. Finidi guided the Aba Giants to a historic 9th NPL title less than a month ago.
And now we'll bring you news from around the world.
Police investigating a doomsday cult in Kenya have now exhumed 403 bodies from the Shakahola forest after 12 more bodies were found today. Hundreds of people linked to the Good News International Church are believed to have either starved themselves to death, were badly beaten, or strangled at the Shakahola forest in southeastern Kenya. The cult leader Paul Mackenzie preached that the world was about to end and allegedly convinced his followers to starve to death so that they could see Jesus. Well, Mr. McKinsey has not yet been formally charged. And that's the news. But before we go, another look at the highlights of the major stories. On the news this evening, you heard that a 2-year-old child has been killed by 2 dogs belonging to his family in Iche local government area of Rivers State. Former Governor of Rivers State, Nyesom Wike, has challenged the NDDC to support the Port Harcourt Ring Road project. And Senator Abubakar Kyari has emerged as the new APC national chairman. On the foreign scene, the death toll from Kenya cult probe has hit more than 400. The news was edited by Martha Okerenkem. Mostly cloudy weather in Port Harcourt this evening. Peace is the path to the prosperity of a nation. Let peace reign. I'm Constance Mega. Thank you so much for listening. Good evening.